Of less than 90,000 readers are honoree Alessandra Bergamin, a freelance Australian journalist based here in Los Angeles and writing on everything from environmental justice to farming for publications including National Geographic and Harper's Magazine. Joining us now to tell us more about Alessandra's work and present her award is director and filmmaker Dominic Czarnota.
Alessandra is an international freelance journalist originally from Melbourne, Australia, and based here in Los Angeles. Her work focuses on human rights and environmental violence across the world. I've had the pleasure of knowing Alessandra since she was a graduate student at Berkeley. Since that time, we've had the chance to collaborate on a few short documentaries. But something that I've known about her ever since the first time that I met her, and all the work we've done together, is her devotion and dedication to journalism, as well as to the people that she was reporting to. When she is researching her next potential story, which I want to add is all the time, I watch with admiration as she finds the person or group who are most affected by the topic at question, in order to give a voice to the most vulnerable, most impacted, and often the most neglected. So it comes to no surprise when I get a phone call from her at 5 in the morning from Guatemala, letting me know that she will arrive back in LA much later than she originally anticipated. The reason? Her fixer never showed up, so instead she is renting a car from a nearby city and driving to the remote region of Bataan by herself so she can interview a group of indigenous women for her story. It's that determination she has to make the best possible version of her story. And she often does so by going beyond what's expected of someone. She might feel embarrassed to hear me say this, but Alessandra is trilingual. She spent years in language classes learning Spanish and Italian so she could better communicate with the people that she is interviewing. Not to mention the hours upon hours of unpaid work as a freelance journalist just to get an editor to notice their stories and pitches. And I know that she is often met with rejection, or worse, being ghosted by those editors. But to her, that is all work which must be done. It's what she expects of herself. Not to make herself feel better or anything along those lines, but because she does not want to disappoint the people in her stories that have been so gracious to her, to share their lives to her, and in some cases to share some of their deepest fears and traumas. And I strongly believe that reporting and the stories that she writes have the power to change ideas and inform us about the challenges of our world from all over. With that, I want to sincerely thank her for the work she does and continues to do so. It's my greatest honor to honor our distinguished journalist, Alessandra Bergamin.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Dominic. I just want to take a moment of your time tonight to say a big thank you to my parents at home in Australia, my sister, who by great good fortune is here tonight, and to the Society of Professional Journalists, LA. It's really an honor to be part of such an amazing and talented cohort of journalists. I also wanted to express my gratitude and respect to the human rights activists, environmental defenders, and local journalists around the world, from Iran to Brazil, who, facing violence and oppression, risk their livelihoods and, more importantly, their lives in the pursuit of truth and justice. Thank you.